fourth point, the skeptic. Kohelet as a skeptic. Under this we are going to see the author of the book, the place of the book, and the date of the book. Who is the author of the book of Kohelet and what is its meaning? The word Kohelet is a feminine participle. In the Hebrew language, the word Kohelet is a feminine participle coming from the root verb kahal, to mean gathering or assembly or speaking in the assembly. The word kahal would mean gathering, assembling, or as one who speaks in an assembly. So by the term Kohelet, it's not a name of the person. In Hebrew, there are no names given like this as Kohelet. Then if it is not a person, what is it? It is a function. Kohelet, the term or the word Kohelet denotes the function of a person. Now what function he was doing? The author of Kohelet, what function he was doing? He was gathering, he was collecting, he was assembling. So if he is collecting, what is he collecting? He is a collector of students to teach wisdom. He was a collector of proverbs. In Greek, the word Kohelet would mean teacher, but in Hebrew is a collector and assembler. So therefore, from this understanding, we know Kohelet is a person who functioned. His function is collecting the students and instructing them in the ways of wisdom. It's not coming so far. Is it so? It catches. So by here, author Kohelet was functioning as a teacher of the law, teaching the Israelites or younger generations, collecting the students and teaching them the ways of wisdom. Likewise, he was also a compiler of the collector of the proverbs and compiler of books. So now let's see what is his character. Character of a Kohelet. He might be a teacher, wise collector. He is recognized as counselor of the young. He is speculative and pessimistic. Therefore, he is called skeptic in character. He addresses himself in the book as son of David. Kohelet chapter 1 verse 6 or Kohelet chapter 1 verse 1. The words of the teacher, son of David, king in Jerusalem. So he addresses himself as son of David. But from the text we know he is not son of David. The son of David is a fictitious term. He is ascribing to himself. He is not son of David, but he is telling he is son of David. Why? Because he wants his teachings should be accepted by all, especially the coming generations. He addressed himself as son of David because he wanted to have popular acceptance for all that he teaches. So concerning the date of the book, from the internal evidence from chapter 2 verse 5, there is a use of the word garden. In the biblical Hebrew, it is used as paradise. Paradise is a Persian name for garden. Therefore, we conclude that the book is written during or after Persian period. The most probable date would be Hellenistic time. So where the book is written, book of Kohelet, where it is written, again we look for the internal evidence for the place of the book of Kohelet, where it is written. The internal evidence of the book of Kohelet would say it is in Palestine, Jerusalem. Book of Kohelet is written in Jerusalem, Palestina or Palestine. Reference chapter 5 verse 1. We shall read. Guard your steps when you go to the house of God. To draw near to listen to is better than the sacrifice offered by fools, for they do not know how to keep from doing evil. So, the verse would give evidence that people going to the house of God is in Jerusalem. Therefore, the place of writing of the book of Kohelet is Jerusalem. With this, we conclude fourth point, Kohelet the skeptic, his details. And now we will come back to point 5, the structure of the book of Kohelet. Is anyone complete a reading book of Kohelet? No one. When you have time, please go through. Just 12 chapters, very simple book and lot of internal wisdom. Now when you first read, you understand lot of different things put together. The book seems no proper order. But according to Addison writes, he finds a beautiful structure in the book of Kohelet. So please keep open your Bibles on and off, we will be referring. The structure he proposed is based on key repetition points or phrases. He divides the book into a prologue and an epilogue. Prologue is an introduction to the book, epilogue a conclusion to the book. Apart from these, he finds 3 sections in the book of Kohelet. Each section is divided according to the key phrases that a section is using. First section, before that we see prologue. Prologue consists of chapter 1 verse 1 to 11. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 to 11 is an introductory note to the whole book of Ecclesiastes. Secondly, the first part, first division of the book. The first division of the book starting from chapter 1 verse 12 to chapter 6 verse 9. First division, chapter 1 verses 12 to chapter 6 verse 9. This first section has got 6 subsections. The first section has got 6 subsections. First one is chapter 2 1 to 11. Second division, chapter 2 12 to 17. Third subsection, chapter 2 verses 18 to 26. Fourth division, chapter 3 verses 1 to 4 and 6. Fifth division, chapter 4 verses 7 to 16. And the final division, chapter 4 verses 17 to chapter 6 verse 9. We shall look into these 6 subdivisions. And already we said in the beginning, each subsection, why he has divided like that? Because each section is ending with a key phrase, vanity of vanities. In the first section, the key term is vanity of vanities. Now let us see chapter 2 verse 11. Then I consider all that my hands had gone and the toil I had spent in doing it, and again all was vanity. Do you hear the key phrase vanity? This is the first section. Now we come back to chapter 2, second subdivision, chapter 2, 17, verse 17 we shall see. Verse 17. So I hated life, because what is done under the sun was grievous to me, for all is vanity and chasing after the wind. You hear second time vanity? So this is based on vanity. Each section is divided. Now we will see third section, subdivision in the first section itself. This is what we are saying, first section. Yeah. Verse 26, right? Is it verse 26? Yeah. Chapter 2, verse 26. Yeah. For to the one who pleases him, God gives him wisdom and knowledge and joy. But to the sinner he gives the work of gathering and heaping only to give to one who pleases God. This is also vanity and chasing after the wind. The third division. We shall see the fourth division. Chapter 3, verse 6. Yeah, better is a handful with quiet than two handfuls with toil and a chasing after wind. Okay, verse 7 also we read. Again I saw vanity under the sun. So this is another section ending with vanity. And we shall see chapter 4, verse 16. 4:16. There was no end to all these people whom he held. Yet those who come later will not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and a chasing after wind. So, and finally, chapter 6, verse 9. Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of the desire. This also is vanity and chasing after the wind. So this is the first unit. Each unit, in the first unit, it consists of 6 units, 6 subunits. Each subunit is ending with the key phrase vanity. We will see what is the meaning of vanity later. Now we are seeing only structure, therefore we are not seeing the meaning of vanity. Now we also said the structure of book of Kohelet has got second division. Second division is starting from chapter 6 verse 10 to chapter 11 verse 6. Chapter 6 beginning from verse 10 to chapter 11 verse 6. So here the key phrase is not find out or who can find out. This is the key phrase. Previously it was vanity and chasing after the wind. Now the key phrase is not find out, who can find out. This is the key phrase. So this section also, second section also has got 4 subsections. Previous one has got 6 subsections. This one has got 4 subsections. Now let's see each of them in detail. Chapter 9 verse 12. We shall see chapter 9. Oh sorry. Chapter 6 verse 12. Is it? No. Chapter 9 verse 12. Please open chapter 9 verse 12. For no one can anticipate the time of desire. Like fish taken in a cruel net, like the birds caught in a snare, mortals are snared at the time of calamity, when it suddenly falls upon them. What happened? Reading 12, no, sorry. 11 verse. Again I saw that under the sun, the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor breath to the wise, nor riches to the intelligent, nor favor to the skillful, but time and chase had happened to them. What had happened? Let's see. Sorry. (9:12) supposed to be 9:12. So actually 9:12 only, verse 9:12, there is no one. The word no one is there. No one can find, or no one cannot find. So this is the sentence. Now coming back to chapter 10 verse 15. We shall see chapter 10 verse 15. Then the toil of the fools wears them out, for they do not even know the way to town. Okay? They do not know. Either do not know or cannot know. These are the phrases we said. Again, the third section we shall see 11 verse 2. 11 verse 2. Divide your means 7 ways or even 8, for you do not know what disaster may happen on the earth. Again the word do not know has come. Finally, 11 verse 6. 11 verse 6. In the morning sow your seed, and in the evening do not let your hands be idle, for you do not know which will prosper, this or that, or whether both alike will be good. Another do not know. So this is the structure of the book. Book is structured after, book of Kohelet is structured after two sections are phrased with two key phrases, two key words. First section, chapter 1 verse 12 to chapter 6 verse 9, is phrased after vanity of vanities or chasing of the wind. So this is the key phrase. The second section is is phrased after key phrase, that is not find or cannot find out. Now the third section, chapter 11 verse 7 to chapter 12 verse 8. Chapter 11 verse 7 to 12:8. It is a poem on youth, young and old. It is a poem on young and old. Now summarizing the structure. In the first part, Kohelet gives, first part in the sense, chapter 1, 12 to chapter 6, verse 9, Kohelet gives an account of his investigation on life. Kohelet in the first part, he gives an account of his investigation on life. He makes thorough investigation on life in the first part. And in the second part, what he does is, he gives conclusions from his investigation. Book of Kohelet, the first section, he makes an investigation on the life. He observes, he clearly sees what is the meaning of life, what is the things, what is the lot of rich and the poor. Okay, all these things he observes clearly. And in the second part, he tells, he draws the conclusions, he gives the conclusions. So this is the what? This is what it is, life all about. So this is investigation. So the conclusion to the fifth point, the structure of the book of Kohelet. Then we are going to see the sixth part, or six, the unity of the book. Nothing new under the sun. Or before that, before sixth point, I have got something to tell. So concerning the unity of the book, main theme of the book is vanity. Vanity in Hebrew is hevel. Hevel. The plural form is Hevelim, Hevalim, Hevalim. So have you heard anywhere in the book this term Hevel? No? No? Fourth chapter of the Genesis. Fourth chapter of the Genesis, please open. Please open and read. Fourth chapter of Genesis. We shall all. Is there a name called Hevel? Now the man knew his wife Eve, and she conceived and bore Cain, saying, I have produced a man with the help of the Lord. Next she bore his brother Abel. Not Abel, that's Abel, Hebrew word. Now the meaning of Abel is what? Now you understand? Vanity, vapor. Vanity means just like that appears during the winter, just like a snow-like thing, and with the sun it disappears. So the place of Hevel in the Bible is just like that. He appears and he goes. That's a passing comment. But otherwise, book of Kohelet is connected with the theme. Both the sections or all the sections is connected with the theme vanity. The word vanity occurs 37 times in the book. The vanity, the word occurs how many times? 37 times. Now, the numerical value of the Hebrew word Hevel is 37. The numerical value of the Hebrew word Hevel, vanity, is 37. And the word Hevel appears in the whole book of Kohelet 37 times. So based on the word Hevel, the book is unified. Now, there are 1101 verses are there in the book of Kohelet. 1101 verses. 111. These many verses are there in the book of Kohelet. So now you just into 37 into 3 is equal to 111. Is that? Now the word Hevel is appearing at the end of the section 3 times. Hevel meaning 37, it is appearing 3 times. 37 into 3 is equal to 111, and this is the total of the whole book of Ecclesiastes or Kohelet. And the word Hevel appears 3 distinctive parts, 3 times in 3 distinctive parts. So the book is unified after the word Hevel. Now coming to the 6th point, nothing new under the sun. We are getting into the heart of the book of Proverbs. Ecclesiastes.